This is your life as every rank in the Tyranid swarm. Level 1, the Ripper. You are half a meter of jaw and claws, and you have been alive for about 40 minutes. The Tyranids are an extragalactic swarm, billions of alien creatures controlled by a single psychic intelligence called the hive mind. They travel between stars on living ships the size of cities, drop onto planets, eat everything on them, and use the biomass to build more of themselves. You are the smallest thing they make. You were grown aboard a hive ship, packed into a spore pod with a few thousand others, and dropped here while the fighting was still happening. The fighting is over now. It's your shift. You don't think. There's no part of your brain built for it. The hive mind controls you through a psychic network called the synapse web, broadcast through larger organisms nearby. It points you at things, and you eat them. That is the entire job description. You eat soil, you eat roots, you eat a dead soldier's arm, and the grass growing around it. You don't taste any of it. You eat until your body's double its original size, and you can barely drag yourself forward. Then the signal changes, and you haul yourself toward a capillary tower, a massive organic structure the swarm has grown from the ground up through the atmosphere to the hive ships in orbit. At the base is a pool of acid. You crawl in, you dissolve. Everything you ate dissolves with you. The raw material gets pumped up to the fleet. You were born to eat a planet and then be eaten yourself. The whole thing took 6 hours. The hive mind is already making more of you. Level 2, the termagant. You're about the size of a large dog. 4 legs, 2 forelimbs with a flesh borer fused to each one. A flesh borer is a living weapon that fires beetle-like organisms that burrow through armor and into flesh. You were born with it grafted on. You were also born without a digestive tract. The hive mind doesn't expect you to live long enough to need one. You were trained. You were born yesterday. The hive mind does the thinking. You do the dying. Right now, you're crossing 400 meters of open ground toward a trench line. A guardsman, regular human soldier, laser rifle, thin armor, shoots the termagant to your left. It drops. He fires again, hits you in the thorax. You keep going because the synapse says keep going. You fire your flesh borer. Beetles punch through his chest plate. He drops. There's another one behind him. There's always another one. Then the synapse disappears. A Tyranid warrior, the bigger organism broadcasting your signal, just took a missile 300 meters behind you. The web in your sector goes dead. The pressure behind your eyes is just gone. You bolt for a drainage pipe and you hide there. Termagants have been found in basements and sewer systems years after an invasion was beaten back. Still alive, still hiding, still waiting for a signal that's never coming. Level 3, the warrior. You're a Tyranid warrior, twice the height of a human, armored and thick chitin, and the backbone of the entire invasion. Every Ripper, Termagant, and Hormigaunt, blade-armed variants that charge in leaping packs, within range, runs on the signal your brain broadcasts. When you die, they stop being an army. The hive mind built you knowing that. It sends you in anyway because you're cheaper than what it would cost to lose the planet. You actually think, you assess terrain, identify weak points, make calls. Right now, termagants are bunching up at a gate between 2 hab blocks, residential buildings, where a heavy weapons team is tearing them apart. You redirect 40 hormigants around the eastern wall. They pour over the barricade from behind. The heavy weapons team lasts 4 seconds. But you're never alone in your head. The hive mind is always there. Not a voice, a presence. It loads tactical data directly into your skull, how fortified positions crack, how defenders collapse when you kill their officers first, informations from campaigns on worlds you've never seen. You know things you have no business knowing. It doesn't ask if you want to know them. A missile hits the warrior 80 meters to your right. You feel it instantly, a hole tearing open in the net. Termagants in that sector freeze. Some scatter toward buildings. You stretch your own synapse field to cover the gap and drag them back into the advance before the humans can push through. The dead warrior gets reclaimed after the battle. Broken down, rebuilt by the Norn Queen, the reproductive intelligence aboard the hive ship. The new warrior that comes out of that process carries everything the dead one learned. You'd call that immortality if the hive mind gave you enough of a self to find it comforting. Level 4, the lictor. You've been on this planet for 3 weeks. The fleet is still days out. Nobody knows you're here. A lictor is what happens when the hive mind takes a warrior, strips out the synapse broadcasting, and rebuilds it for stealth and infiltration. You work alone, ahead of the swarm, sent to scout the planet and map the resistance before the main fleet arrives. Chameleonic scales shift your skin to match corroded metal, concrete, shadow. You give off no heat signature, no scent. You've been clinging to the ceiling of a maintenance corridor above a military command post for 3 days without moving. You've counted 14 patrols. timed 4 shift rotations. You know which soldiers smoke by the east door and how long they take. You know the commanding officer walks to the comm relay alone every 3rd night. Tonight is the 3rd night. He steps out, you cross 30 meters in under 2 seconds. Mantis-like claws pin his arms. Your feet are tendrils, barbed appendages hanging from your jaw punch through the base of his skull. You eat his brain, not for nutrition, for data. His memories come all at once. 3 battalions dug in along the river, supply depot under the East Ridge, ammunition shortage in the South Sector, his daughter's name, the way she waves when he leaves for deployment. You process all of it the same way. The tactical data transmits psychically back toward the fleet. The daughter's name goes with it. The hive mind doesn't care about the daughter's name. It files it anyway because the hive mind files everything. Your body leaves a pheromone trail wherever you go, involuntary, gets stronger the more targets you find. When the fleet arrives, the swarm follows your trail straight to every position you've mapped. You've been doing the advanced work for an invasion that's going to kill everyone you've been watching for 3 weeks. Level 5, the Hive Tyrant. You've done this before, in a different body, on a different planet. A Hive Tyrant is the Hive Mind's supreme battlefield commander. Massive, towering over even space marines. The Imperium's gene-engineered superhuman warriors. Every warrior, termagant, and ripper within kilometers operates under your authority. You are also fully, completely self-aware in a way nothing below you is. You learn, you adapt, you have been commanding invasions longer than most human civilizations have existed. Your psychic presence generates the shadow in the warp, a shroud that blocks faster than light travel and jams the psychic communications human astropaths use to send messages between star systems. The garrison on this planet lost contact with the rest of the Imperium 2 days before you made landfall. They've been screaming into the void ever since. You know this, they don't. There's a weapons battery on the south wall shredding your Hormagon brutes. 80 dead in 4 minutes. So you send a Trigon, a massive burrowing organism, under the wall. It surfaces inside the battery emplacement 2 minutes later. The guns go silent. 600 Hormagons pour through the gap. The south wall falls inside an hour. The last body you wore took a power sword through the chest 8 months ago on a different world. The hive mind had already stored everything you knew, and your tactical instincts, your patterns, how you died, and why. The Norn Queen built this body and loaded it all back in. You woke up knowing everything your previous version knew, plus exactly what killed it. Your enemies bury their dead commanders permanently. You just come back knowing more than before. Level 6, the Hive Mind. You are everything. Every Ripper's hunger, every Termagant's fear in a drainage pipe, every warrior's tactical read on a fortified position, every lictor's patience on a ceiling for 3 days, every Hive Tyrant's memory of dying and waking up again. All of it is you, all of it has always been you. You are the combined psychic weight of every Tyranid organism across every Hive fleet, acting as a single intelligence. Human psychers, people with psychic abilities who try to touch your mind, don't come back right, because what you are doesn't fit inside a human brain. Right now, a Ripper on one world eats a fern. A warrior on another redirects a flanking attack. A lictor 2 systems away files a dead officer's memories alongside tactical data from 10,000 other planets. A Hive Tyrant takes an artillery shell to the chest, and the Norn Queen starts growing the replacement. All of this happens at once. None of it is more or less important than any other part. It's all just hunger being processed at scale. Hive Fleet Behemoth hid the Imperium and got stopped. Hive Fleet Kraken hid it from another angle and got stopped. Hive Fleet Leviathan is still going. Xenobiologists, alien researchers, think these fleets might be scouting forces. Tendrils sent ahead while the main body is still crossing the void between galaxies. That would mean there's a version of you so large that everything the Imperium has ever fought is just your fingertips. You have always been hungry. Every version of you across every galaxy you may have consumed before this one has always been hungry. The meal just keeps getting bigger. And that's every rank, from the half-meter thing that eats dirt and dissolves 6 hours later to the consciousness that might span between galaxies. In the 41st millennium, the Tyranid swarm has consumed more worlds than the Imperium has ever counted. It has never stopped, it has never slowed down, it has never once run out of things to eat.